All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. My name is Vince, VOL888 on X, and this is the midweek live update for Tesla. And I'm going to break down the most important levels that I see for the close today and also into the end of the week. And we had a big gap up. There's never a dull moment with Tesla. And we had a big gap up today that reached a high of just over 396. But now we are fading with about 1 hour until the close. And this is an important candle, I believe. And the reason is when you look at the level of 387 and you see how price held it as support for a very long time, that's a level that we gapped up above today. But now, currently, with 1 hour until the close, we are losing that 387. And so, we're not that far away. We're only $1.25 from getting back above it to reclaim it. But 387 is a level that would help salvage a rough afternoon for the stock where it's been selling off from the highs, because it would reclaim that support level that was there in the past. So 387. If we end up closing below 387, then we're back into this cluster down here, and that would be an indication of weakness. Now, the reason why the gap up was important today is because we had a gap down last week where we made a large gap down to that 387 level and held down here for a few days. Today we gapped back out of it, but we can see the price is making new lows for the day. And so if we do close below this gap that was created last week, that would be a failure to reclaim it. And we can't really get bullish until we reclaim this old gap. That's the gap that created a lot of bearish pressure. And that bearish pressure is re-emerging here into the close with now about 57 minutes until the close. Now, when you look at the Fibonacci levels, just measuring the recent high and recent lows, we see that we rejected quite cleanly off the highs, and we are now heading to the next Fibonacci level below, which is around 384. And so that looks like where price wants to go right now. If it does get there, then what I'll be looking for is the reaction. Technical analysis is not about predicting, it's about watching the reaction of price around key levels. So will 384 act as support? And there's still time to get back up above 387 before the close, but we're going to need a big reaction if we do test this next fib level below. And if we close below that, then that opens the door for the next Fibonacci level below that as well. So we're looking at 387 as a strong close to salvage week afternoon. But that also is a level to look at for the end of the week on Friday as well. Yeah, just looking at the big picture here. And I've got these RSI, relative strength index candles, which basically just show when relative strength index is under 50, it's a sign of weakness for a stock, and they tend to cluster. And you can see we've been in this big range of red candles, meaning RSI is below 50. Now, last week, we did have some bullish divergence emerging on the relative strength index. However, with last Friday's low, that divergence was eliminated. But we still do, on my custom Vincilator indicator, have some bullish divergence happening here. So there is that in play. Now, it's a long way from being confirmed. What I'd want to see for it to be confirmed is for these candles to turn white, which means RSI is over 50. And in order to keep this alive, this Vincilator, my custom oscillator bullish divergence, we would also need to not have this make a new low. And so that's where we're at. We're still trending around the low of the day today as we get nearer to my next Fibonacci level. And so look around 384. If you see a reaction there, that could be a positive sign. What really we need, though, to make this more bullish is a close over 387. So I'm going to leave that with you here. Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next week around midweek. Bye for now.